Hey everyone, it's Julie. This video will be feeding two birds with one scone because I will be responding to two tags today. And the first one is a VR to Jeff over at Tattooed Spirit. He's started a tag called What's Important to Me, and I will link his video in the cards. And he asks us to answer two questions. The first one, what is something in our lives that we want to avoid or move away from? And the second question is, what is something that we want to move towards? So in response to the first question, what do I want to move away from? I would love to move away from my anxiety over death and mortality. And this is something that I've been trying to tackle for a while. Without going into too much detail, there have been incidents in my life that have heightened my anxiety about death and mortality, and not even just my own death, but even more so lately, the losing people that I care about, losing the ones around me. And it's just, it's something that I want to finally tackle and move on from, because at the end of the day, it does no good. It is of no use for me to worry about death. It is not something I can necessarily control, and it's inevitable. And so I would love to release that. And then second question, what do I want to move towards? And this might be kind of a simple answer, but just living a fulfilling life where I'm pursuing happiness, and I'm actively pursuing happiness. I'm putting in the effort, and I'm not just settling for things and settling for circumstances just because I am afraid or because I have self-doubt. The second VR is to Brian Cormack Carr. He created a tag called My Best Advice, Share Your Wisdom, and I will link his video as well. And I have been able to catch a few VRs, and it's been so lovely to hear all of your little nuggets of wisdom. And the reason I wanted to pair this VR with Jeff's VR is because I feel like the piece of advice I am going to share very much relates to my response to Jeff's second question. And so my advice comes in the form of a quote. It's probably one that many of you are already familiar with, and it's from US President Teddy Roosevelt. And this is a quote that just really resonates with me, and whenever I have bouts of fear or self-doubt, lack of confidence, I think back to this quote and find it really helpful. So here is my piece of advice, or rather, President Roosevelt's piece of advice. It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least he fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat. Thank you so much for joining me for this video, and until next time, take care.